I wanted to talk for a little bit about what you do in gardening and in parenting when things are going wrong, when things are kind of going south. Because a lot of these videos that I've been making about my garden are about trusting in the process, forgiving yourselves, being gentle with your kids. All that's great. But you might be thinking, gosh, that's really nice, Cecilia. But what if things are not looking great in your garden or not looking great with your kids? What do you start doing then? So again, I'm going to go back to my plants here. Here's the yucca again. This beautiful plant that has these fuzzy arrow-shaped leaves. And I've never grown one before. I'm a little bit winging it. And I was asking my friend who's grown them, it's like, well, what do you do about this problem? And what if the leaves start turning a different color? And what if they're starting to brown? Or what if this, what if that? Like, what if these things are happening? And she, who's also a fantastic parent, says, with pretty much everything in the garden, I just add more fertilizer. It stinks like stinky dead rotten fish, but it just generally helps. Because with plants, sometimes it's about taking things away that are like the bad things. Like maybe you gotta spray something on them to take care of the bugs. Or maybe you even pick the bugs off of your plant. I've done that. You have to take away the bad things. Or sometimes, like fertilizer, you just gotta add the good. Maybe it needs a little more sunlight, or a little more water, or a little more fertilizer. And the simplest thing to do, I think, in gardening and in parenting is to just add the good. If we add more fertilizer, making sure it has enough light and water, our plants are pretty hardy. Like they can get through a lot. They can fight off the disease and fight off the bugs and all the other things pretty easily if they have enough fertilizer and light and water. So I think in gardening, it's about adding the good more than worrying about taking away the bad. In parenting, I think the same thing is true too. You might think, oh, I gotta make sure that my kid doesn't make friends with the bad kids, or I gotta take away the bad grades, take away the unhealthy sugary foods. There's a lot of bad things, screens that we can think, oh my gosh, I gotta take this stuff away. Or we can think of, what if I add more connection? What if I add more of my attention, more time together, more understanding, more fun, more games, more aliveness, more bedtime stories, more hugs and kisses, more wrestling, more watching sunsets or sunrises, more play and joy. Those are going to be things that no matter what are going to help our kid get rid of the bad stuff if they're struggling with the bad stuff. So yeah, when you're thinking about as a parent, do you take away the bad stuff or do you add the good stuff? It might be easier and more joyful and more fun to add the good and to trust that by adding the good, your child's going to do okay.